everybody. Welcome to the first special episode of Otaku. It is February 14th, 2016. I am David, one of the regulars on Otaku. I'm the creator of the first Nisekoi Bridge parody ever. And next up, we also have our regulars here. We have Sachie.
Woo!
Ladies, please introduce yourselves as we do.
Ladies first. Oh, wait.
That doesn't really work here.
It's pretty early.
It is early. It is early. It is really early.
You first.
Oh, okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Sachie. I am a vlogger and cosplayer and all-around ToraDora enthusiast, as I reveal today's episode.
Well, we had already announced what we were talking about.
Okay,
so
good.
It's all good. B?
Hi, everybody. I am a socialite, jack of all trades, ace of none, and if you want to follow all my random ramblings, you can check me out on Twitter at LikenB64.
Awesome. And B, you did something a little different with your makeup today, didn't you?
This so fancy.
Yeah. I can't
just for
see
you.
it properly.
Oh!
You like it?
It's like I need to put the kawaii blush effect on my cheeks right now. I really do. Like it'll just make everything work perfectly right now. Senpai,
They say wear your
what
heart
have you
on
done
your
to me?
sleeve, but I figure it's
no.
better if you wear it
Oh
on
my
your
god,
face.
stop. I'm gonna... This is too much for me.
From the romancer, really?
Too much for
From the
me, and it's
romancer, it's too
Valentine's
much.
Day. That's how much over the top it is.
It is Valentine's Day. Before we
I
get
really
into
like seeing people with a cute blush.
It is Valentine's Day, and before we get into our core topic, do you have plans for Valentine's Day, everybody?
No!
Oh, you don't have plans for Valentine's Day?
No, not really.
Sorry?
You don't have plans for today?
No. It's a sit at home
No?
and cry type of day. It's a sit at home and marathon anime type of day.
Well,
Yes,
you know a
I
good anime, you
completely
could
agree.
be marathoning.
Damn straight. No, honestly, that is exactly my plan. I have nothing to do and nobody to do it with, so I'm just gonna watch anime in my basement all day, just because.
Which is why we're here providing quality entertainment for all of you guys out there.
Absolutely. Now, getting on to our topic, like we said in Wednesday's podcast, and as Sachie brought up, we are here today to talk about one of the best anime from 2008, 2009, and arguably
2008?
one of the, from 2008, and one of the best shoujo anime in the world, arguably ever, ToraDora.
Woo! Best series.
That might be a little tricky to see that, but so I'll put it off to the edge here a little bit.
You just cut off the tall guy. You should have
Did
put
I?
it the other way. Yeah.
Did I?
Yeah, you're good.
It should be a little bit better, I hope. Maybe. I don't know. The camera I have is awful. Anyway, so
Non-scary face.
we are talking about ToraDora, like we were saying. We all love this show. So let's ask each other, why do we love this show? Sachie, please lead us off. Why do you like ToraDora?
It was a very, very emotional series. And this is actually funny because in our last podcast, we did a love episode. Then we all talked about our top romance anime. And ToraDora was the series that we all kind of wanted to talk about. We all fought over that one, but we ended up deciding that we wanted to do our own little standalone episode. So it's safe to say that this is a series that we're all very passionate about. But the reason why I love ToraDora, actually, no, there are a lot of reasons. It's a very emotional anime. It makes me have the feels, too many of the feels. I can't hold all of these feels. Feels! But yeah, no, the characters in it are absolutely lovely. I feel like it's a very relatable slice of life series, and the situations that they find themselves in, although many of the times they can be dramatic or comedic, they're very relatable. I feel like everyone can kind of relate to them. I'm saying relatable. I'm saying relate a lot.
It's the day of relationships.
It is the day of relationships.
Both of you are hopeless.
Yes. No,
can't
Sachie has her senpai. She has some hope. I don't. So.
I'm not sharing. I'm charming everybody watching this video today.
Yeah.
Leave a comment down below and tell us of the three of us who your senpai is.
Yeah, I already can tell that
It's gonna be David because after all, you are subscribed to his channel, so you are. That is how many thousands of senpai points to you.
If you guys like vanilla ice cream, go to David.
No. Let's not go there.
Anyway, going back to ToraDora, one of my favorite parts of ToraDora itself is the art style. That, I think, is what initially drew me to it. I'm a big fan of KyoAni's artwork, like K-On! Or series like K-On! And Tamako's Market. And it's a very colorful series, and I think the art style is very, very pretty. There's a lot of really smooth animation. And this is a topic that we actually brought up in our pre-show before this. The animation in ToraDora, this was a series that was made back in 2008, and it seems a lot better than a lot of series that were made in 2008.
Doesn't look like a 2008 anime.
It looks so smooth. Yeah, for sure.
You look at shows like ToraDora from that same era. I'm trying to think of something that was really, really big at that time, but I really can't think of anything.
Anime in 2008.
Research
team.
The global anime market was bad at that time.
I'm looking at the series that were released, and I don't know.
Yu-Gi-Oh was still out there. No, I'm just
5DS. I think it was the motorcycle one.
Oh, 5Ds, yeah. 5Ds. Fun.
But, no, it was really, really smooth, and I think that was the reason why I was kind of drawn towards it, because in comparison to other series that were being released at the time, it just seemed
Amatsuki was at that same
like
time.
a higher caliber of animation.
Yeah. And I think a lot of love and effort went into ToraDora.
Mm-hmm.
Every single detail seemed meticulously edited over, so that way there was virtually no flaws with the animation, and I really appreciated that.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Okay. B, why did you like ToraDora?
Okay, I don't like romance. I'm just gonna say that right out front. I am not a fan of romance.
No.
This was recommended to me by like 3 people, Sachie included.
I
but
was
the thing
very
that
much
finally
like, watch it. You have to watch it.
Only the more off-putting.
Wow.
The thing that finally got it for me was when I found out that Taiga is like a violent girl. I have a thing for violent girls. In anime.
Okay.
Please don't take that, okay?
Okay, let's just roll with it.
So I just really wanted to see how it would work out with like this character that expresses love in a little different way. And her crush. So I wanted to see I knew it would have a comedic element because of that. So
I have a thing.
That's what drew me to it, and then just.
Oh my god.
Please don't get hung up on that. Please.
Newsflash, B likes violent girls.
Oh, guys.
I'm sorry. I
Awesome.
couldn't help myself. I really couldn't help
I
myself.
don't mind violent guys either, if that...
I don't think
Also
violence is a
out of context.
message
Doesn't
we
help.
want to promote
Violence
on
is bad.
Valentine's Day.
Violence is bad. Anime is good. Violence is bad. Anime is good. Therefore, anime is the solution to the world's problems.
Exactly.
I think there's a lot of
Throw
people that
manga
would
at the
screw-
terrorists. Read this.
Read it. Read it. Stop.
Just a hurl
Stop
ToraDora.
fighting. Everybody stop fighting and read this cute story about these Japanese high school students
Oh,
who
God.
really struggle with trying to get into relationships.
Mhm.
David, why did you like it?
I think I just said why I liked it, because it's about awkward teenagers who are really struggling to find their place and fit in and get that relationship going with anybody ever.
That's literally what it comes down to.
And but no, in all seriousness, I, like Sachie was saying, I really, really liked the animation style. I liked the music. In
music,
particular.
Music
yeah.
was solid.
The background music was great. The openings and endings were great. On top of that, I really, really liked the ride of this whole show. It was so easy for me to just get immersed in this show.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, like, I think I've mentioned this before in previous episodes, but when I watch anime, I try and put myself in the shoes of that character and say, how are they feeling? How am I seeing that being represented on screen? And try and sort of put myself in that position emotionally. So I try and
See him watch Seraph of the End.
feel that. I try and feel what's going on in the show. And this show can be really feel good and also a massive roller coaster.
Yeah, and
And-
I think also because it came out in 2008, that's when we were in high school, which is also the time like all the characters in ToraDora are in high school. And I feel like it appropriately explains like young love. Like everyone kind of likes each other and their different little love triangles and conflicts and drama
Yeah.
that people go through because they don't know how to react and they haven't had the experience to know how to react. So everyone's kind of like feeling through it for the first time, and that
I
can...
still don't have that experience, but okay.
You need to
Practice
do a case
makes
study of
perfect.
ToraDora.
I really do need to do a case
Ask
study.
yourself,
of Totoro.
what would Ryuji do?
What would Ryuji would go and cook food?
He would be like, peace out.
And that is the
Just
way
go
to a
cook.
girl's heart.
would just go
Exactly.
cook.
Oh my gosh. Cook
They
for...
want
Ryuji
to
would
get
just go
somebody
cook.
as a date, cook for them. That's how Sachie got me in a date.
That's how, yeah, that's exactly. I cooked for B and she was like, oh my god, senpai.
That's,
Yeah.
that's when she took my heart.
Oh my God.
Mhm.
Okay, so aside from why we liked it, there's always that one thing. Everyone likes to pick a favorite moment or an episode. And I'm sure with this show, we
Vote
love this
separately.
show. Did we have a favorite moment in any particular episode? So, Sachie, did you have a favorite moment?
Apart from the ending, which I'm sure we'll discuss later, one
It's
scene that one part that really stood out to me was the fight scene between Taiga and the school council president Sumire.
Sumire Kano.
Okay, so that scene really emotionally shook me because I'm very used to like fluffy, happy slice of life anime where nothing really happens and everyone leads a peaceful life. And I don't really know what I was expecting when I was going into Taiga, but it was not an intense
You were
fight
going
scene.
into Taiga?
Into Taiga.
Have fun with
Sorry.
that.
Whoops, I meant ToraDora.
Have fun with that. I
So
don't
apparently
know.
you like the violent girls too, huh?
Yeah, oh, I love the violent girls. ToraDora, I meant. I don't know where I'm going with this anymore, B. You can take it over.
Success! No,
B is
you were
successful.
saying-
She derailed it. Okay.
It was the fight. Anyway, the fight scene was
the
very,
fight scene.
very intense. And this is just sounding so sexual now. I'm like, there were a lot of screaming girls, and like there was blood everywhere, and they were on top of each other, and like.
Oh my God. Yeah, you just
Please stop!
throwing this out of context. That would sound very, very sexual, but it's not.
This is what B wants. She's into violent girls. Anyway, yes, the fight scene. David, what were your thoughts on the
There's a
fight
bandana
scene?
for that.
My thoughts on the fight scene. I thought it was very, like you said, it was very unexpected. Like this was probably the first shoujo anime I ever watched, and I didn't watch this when I was in high school. I watched this in 2013. I watched it in Japanese. Then as I showed everybody, shameless product placement earlier, which is not sponsored, by the way. I picked up the collector's edition from Right Stuff, and it had a dub on it. And so I gave the dub a chance after I'd watched the sub, and I thought, okay, so I'm going to watch that scene in English and in Japanese, and it was just equally as rattling in so many ways. It's just, you don't expect
They don't
these
hold
characters-
back, do they?
They do
freak
not hold
out.
back. I mean,
That
both
was a solid fight.
the actors in both language tracks were straining their voices so hard to do that. They were legit screaming at each other as if they were
Better
going to
than
murder
some
each
fight
other.
scenes in shonen I've seen.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. Like it just made it feel so much more real because it was unexpected and it felt so real.
And I think it's also like how Taiga reacts to the whole thing, because how did that whole fight? It was Taiga getting
Kitamura won the election for president because
Yeah.
Taiga dropped out, so he was the only one
Mhm.
running. So at his acclamation speech, he sort of says, thanks everybody, and President, I love you. And she doesn't give him an answer, and
Aw.
Taiga flips out. Like she is so pissed about this because she just
She holds it together for a
Sumire
while.
She holds it together for a little while, and then she says, "I'm just gonna go," and then she hunts down Sumire because Sumire just crushed Kitamura's heart
Mhm.
really, really nastily.
Just
And
like the dictator, beautiful general she is.
Yeah, B's
Okay.
got a little thing for.
Yeah, B has a thing for Sumire Kano and her authoritarian
Directors.
style, style of organizing. But yeah, no, it was just really dark. But
And
it was.
I think a
I
big
get it.
reason of why it was such like a touching scene in a way is because it doesn't just happen. If it was just Taiga having like a random violent spurt where she just kind of attacks it wouldn't really have meant as much. But it was because it had been like building up until that point where Taiga develops feelings for Kitamura. Kitamura expresses his feelings for the president, and then
Breaks her heart.
yeah, and then it just kind of goes insane. So I think it's just because there were so many other factors behind that it made the scene so effective.
Yeah.
But even though it was like a bit of a difficult scene to watch, it was definitely one of my favorites.
Absolutely.
I think by then, the thing that shocked me the most was that I expected her to not act on it because she already was like starting to have feelings for Ryuji.
Mm-hmm.
So when she still acts on it, I was like, wait a second, hold on.
I think
Split emotions, mixed
I actually
feelings.
just sort of clicked in. It's like basically she still sort of harbored some feelings for Kitamura. So not only did Kitamura's heart get crushed, but whatever hope she had of ever ending up with Kitamura also got crushed. And so she's just pissed that she said, okay, he put himself out there to the president, I love you.
Yeah.
She gets hurt a lot in
Which
this anime, and
She
not
does.
physically.
She really does.
Yeah.
She really does. Okay, B,
Physically,
what was
she kicks
your
ass.
what was your favorite moment in ToraDora?
Probably right before they're about to go to the swimming pool, and Taiga doesn't have a fitting swimsuit, and Ryuji's like, I can fix that.
I
And
can
then he
fix
goes
that.
and he fixes that in the best possible way he can. He
I
does
love
what you
Taiga
would never
that
expect a
whole
dude to
scene
do,
there.
and he sews her plot builders,
Plot enhancers.
plot answers.
What answers? Oh my
Oh
god.
my gosh.
So-
Yeah, no, I felt that scene was just sort of weird. It's like you generally speaking wouldn't necessarily see a guy volunteer say, "Yeah, I can do that." But then again,
And
I don't
she's
know
such
many.
a
mom,
He's just
though.
like-
He's such a
He
mom.
is.
Powerful cinnamon roll.
Okay, okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
that scene was interesting. That was a very interesting scene. Just because I get where Taiga is coming from,
Yeah.
and
It
not
kind of shows-
personally, but I get it. I get it.
I
This
thought
is-
Do you want
Yeah.
your plot enhancers? I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm gonna drop this
I don't know.
comment.
I don't know. That was a little
Do
too
you
far.
want your plot enhancers?
That was a little too far. No, I could see how Taiga was feeling because the context of it is that they went swimsuit shopping and she couldn't fit into the smallest size of the school approved swimsuits, and so she didn't want to buy a little kid's swimsuit. She wants to fit in with everyone else, and so Ryuji offers a solution for that. And I think, as a friend perspective, that's a great thing to do as a friend, just sort of say, I'm going to help you out here. I don't want you to feel left out.
And herein lies the thing. I thought that would be like the extent of how Ryuji could show his care for Taiga, and he just goes on and surpasses it again when she falls in the pool and she's one falls out, and he's like, all right, I can fix that too.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, it was
it's
interesting.
just he kind of saves her on multiple accounts, and it's always like completely no hesitation.
It's more like, oh, you're doing something stupid again, and you made it impossible for you to get out of it. Gotta go bail you out again. As
He doesn't
opposed
get
to
self-conscious about it.
exactly, he's not self-conscious about it. He's also not, I'm the macho guy, and I'm going to save the damsel in distress. It's Taiga, you did it again. I have to pull you out of everything.
I love Taiga's reaction when she sees Ami, who has like the model-esque perfect body, and Taiga just gets like what? How is that happening?
Like, it's not
The amount
fair.
of times I've looked at you like that, though, every time he walks by, so tall, I'm just like,
That's no, but
Oh,
it's just I'm tall.
Yeah.
And I've got an anime body.
I have.
we all
like,
wish we
body
had that. We all wish we
proportion.
had anime bodies.
You wish you had Sachi's body?
No, I said I wish we all had anime bodies.
Well,
I'm
Like-
quite comfortable with who I am. Thank you very much.
What was your
Just checking.
favorite scene, David?
My favorite scene was in when Ryuji is doing, like I said, bailing Taiga out again.
Mm-hmm.
When they're on the mountain.
Yeah.
Everybody had gone in for the night, and Taiga was nowhere to be found.
Mhm.
And I think she had gone to get something that
She
Ryuji
went
had
to-
gotten for Minori,
Mm.
and I think she got knocked out, and there was blood.
Yeah. It was a pretty like
So
intense.
it was really intense, that scene, and I
Episode,
think that's
yeah.
why it stuck with me so much. It's just because it was so intense.
Mhm.
And Ryuji goes and does what he does and saves his friend, bails her out of a very bad situation.
Mhm.
But then there's that heart to heart that she doesn't really know what's happening, and he pretends to be Kitamura, just to sort
Yeah.
of ease her consciousness. Even
Help
though she's
a
not,
bro
Same
out.
face.
Yeah, he's not even like she's not even fully conscious, and she's having a conversation with Kitamura
Yeah.
when it's Ryuji carrying her, and she's just said, I want to feel for Kitamura, but I can't stop loving Ryuji.
Yeah.
Here's the
And
thing,
that was just like, okay, that would never happen in real life, at least not that I can conceptualize, but it was just moving in such a way. It's like anybody who has ever had their heart crushed can relate to that. It's like, that would be like perfect for that to happen. It's like have your best friend just sort of say, I can't stop loving this person. Yeah. Yes, me.
Here's the thing, though. She has that. She thinks in that conversation she's having it with Kitamura.
Yeah.
When you we know she regularly confides in Ryuji, and this is one of those things that she can't confide in him. I was actually surprised that she didn't confide these feelings in Minorin, considering Minorin is her best friend.
Yeah,
That's
I think it's because, as it was later elaborated on, Taiga knew Minorin was interested. And so she didn't want to hurt her feelings by saying, yeah, I like him too, and I know him better than you, and so I have dibs.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Like,
I mean, when we're half conscious or drunk, we don't.
She didn't want to drive. I don't think Taiga wanted to drive that wedge between her best friend and herself, because that would just ruin.
They're already like a ton of complications in everyone's relationships.
Yeah, absolutely. And on that note, with that entire scene, that whole episode was my absolute favorite of all of them. I mean, there were great episodes for the whole show, but and this is a silly reason why it's my favorite episode, but I'm a skier, and that is in snow-filled paradise and snow mountains and everything, and I'm just so happy to see it. There aren't enough anime in the wintertime.
Yeah,
there really
true.
aren't.
Very true.
There's so much you can do with the winter.
Yeah.
In any medium, and I really appreciate it. It's like, yes, there is something other than Christmas or
Christmas
sort of
is the only time it really snows.
Any sort of like winter-esque holiday, there's something other than that, and they're doing something I absolutely love doing. So I'm happy.
Yeah.
Actually, David, if that's the case, then you should read No, 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 which is about a girl that pretends to be her brother so she can compete in ski jumping. Because girls weren't allowed to compete. I highly recommend it. It's pretty good.
That sounds interesting. I might have to check that one out.
No, 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 No.
That also that I'm not going to go there because I could go on a massive tangent of how it's going to be misinterpreted. On that note, I have already said what my favorite episode is. Sachie, what is your favorite episode of ToraDora?
Ooh, going along the winter scene, I really liked the Christmas episode where her and Ami do they do that Holy Night song, like da 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 da, and they got little Christmas dresses on, and they have their little like coordinated dance. I really like that episode. I'm a sucker for like the musical scenes. Also the Christmas episodes. Such
a romancer.
I know, I just love them. That episode is so good.
Sachie is such a romantic.
I really liked it, you guys. But it's also a very interesting point between Ami and Taiga's relationship, because throughout the series they're always like butting heads and they're always like yelling at each other. Yep. But it's like they come together and they dance, and just the spirit of Christmas unites them. It's just so good. I really like
this.
This
also takes place right after they have their school performance at the cultural festival, and she arranges with Ami to have that extra switch when her dad comes. Yeah. And then the dad doesn't show up, and she could have easily blamed Ami for still doing it. Yeah. And she doesn't.
Aww.
So.
Yeah.
Such an emotional series. There are too many moments.
It really is. B, what was your favorite episode?
My favorite episode
what was your favorite episode of
the last one? I really liked the last episode. Please don't scream. But my favorite thing about it was the fact that they get the relationship and then something happens afterwards. Like, it doesn't have that kind of, and then they were happily ever after, but it kind of shows how real life goes on. She, moves away, and then the whole class is just kind of like, no, that's not supposed to happen. That wasn't supposed to happen. They all freak out. And then Ryuji's just kind of like, yo, trust her. And then it ends still on a good note. It kind of ends on that whole life goes on. You guys need to cope with it. It doesn't mean it's the end of something, great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like that.
And it was interesting because on that note, I really liked the very end, which...
Are we talking about the end yet?
The very, very end.
Are we talking about the end yet?
Yes, we're talking about the end now.
About the ending was so good.
Okay. We know what Sachi's opinion is on the end of ToraDora. Can we all just agree that the ending was very well done?
Can I get the
I never saw the end.
No, but you did see you saw the core ending, but you didn't see the very end,
Yes, the core ending was fantastic.
The core ending was fantastic. It was very well done, and trying to make Sachie from not explode there. She's just sort of
I need to get
building
it out
with
of my
anticipation.
system.
Do it.
Just let her do the
The
thing.
kiss. Okay, guys,
Let it go.
the kiss.
Ugh.
So this is like, girl, this is like the best, one of the best shoujo endings that I've seen.
So
you know how in a
funny.
lot of shoujo anime though, we're always waiting for the kiss. And throughout the series, you're like, oh my god, are they gonna kiss? And they like look at each other and they walk away, and you're like, what just happened? But the ending of ToraDora, when they're getting all like emotional and like cutesy, and I think this is emphasized by their height difference, that he's like 6'5" and she's like 4'11" or something. There's such a big height difference. It's really cute. But the part where they kiss, and then she's like,
So
do it
weak.
again. And then he kisses her again, and then she's like, do it again. And they just keep kissing. Ah!
It's Sachie's enthusiasm is shaking her whole room.
Cannot be
Like, oh my
contained.
God.
No, it cannot
But
be
yeah,
contained.
Anyway, I give that kiss 10 out of 10 floating
Complete
bikini
180.
plot boob things that Ryuji sews. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10
Nice.
boob padding.
Plot enhancers.
Nice. Oh man, yeah, that whole ending.
10
But
plot enhancers out of 5 swimsuits.
10 out of 10 plot enhancers.
I'm just remembering this. We were talking to B about it because she was dumbfounded that there was another ending.
Nobody
after the
told me
end.
Marvel made ToraDora.
Yeah, so for those of you who haven't watched we just ruined the entire anime for you if you haven't
Thanks.
seen it before. For people
Now
who
you
haven't
ruined the
watched
ending
it before.
ending.
But B needs to watch that as soon as we're done here. And if you haven't watched to the end of episode 25, you need to watch the end of episode 25.
It wraps everything else
It-
in the series up
It
nicely.
really
yeah.
does wrap it up nicely, and I approve of that a lot.
How many boob enhancers would you give it out of 10?
Out of 10 boob enhancers, I'd give it 40.
40 boob enhancer. Wow, the boobs have been enhanced. Good job, Taiga.
Just because I really, really liked how it wrapped up the stories.
Mm-hmm.
4 times multiplied.
That's going to be our rating system
Rating
for
system,
every
boob-
podcast ever.
Boob enhancements
Boob
that are made out of fabric. Yay.
Oh.
All right. So I had one final silly question for everybody, and I mean silly because it's just between us. Would you recommend ToraDora?
Plot
to-
enhancers, excuse me. Plot enhancers.
Plot enhancers?
B, you say yours. Would you
But-
recommend?
Okay, I normally don't watch anime with anyone in my family. I managed to drag my mother into watching some of them because I managed to drag her into watching Ouran High School in particular. She'll only watch things that are dubbed, and she really enjoyed it, and I know she really enjoys romance comedy, so knowing that ToraDora is dubbed, I would probably have her watch it as well, especially since it's a romantic comedy. I think she'd like it.
Yeah, I think ToraDora is a really good series to like introduce people with, like if they're new to anime, especially since it is dubbed, which makes it a lot easier for people that aren't used to reading subtitles all the time. But I feel like ToraDora has a very relatable cast of characters, and the situations that they're put in, they're entertaining, and there's some awesome moments. Some of my favorite moments are actually with Ryuji's mom, because she's such like a comedic relief, and she's just
Beautiful.
so cute to watch. But yeah, no, ToraDora's a really good anime, I think. It's like a first anime for someone.
Absolutely. Personally, like I've said several times in previous podcast episodes, it's difficult for me to recommend anime to people because I don't know a ton of people who watch anime.
Hmm.
And
No,
it's-
otaku.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, this is why like otaku is such a nice thing to have around for me. Is that we can hang out and we can talk about anime, and I won't be necessarily judged by
Yeah.
people who don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
No, you'll be
But-
judged by people who know what you're talking about.
Oh, I know. But like people are already saying, "Wow, you're just watching Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood now?
Mm.
Like, holy smokes, you're way
still haven't
behind
watched it.
times." No,
I'm not gonna watch it.
well,
I'm judging
you know,
both
it's
of
not
you,
something.
but
I don't
It's
like
not something that
silently.
that show is not something you watch on Valentine's Day. What is something you watch on Valentine's Day is ToraDora.
Yay!
So once again, thank you everybody for joining us for this special episode of Otaku. We hope you all have a very lovely Valentine's Day. we're
and
sure
remember that tomorrow all the chocolate goes on sale. So
yes, all the chocolate goes on
discount
sale.
chocolate day
Priorities.
is the
All the
real
chocolate goes on
priority.
sale tomorrow. Though if you live in Ontario, Canada, it's Family Day the day after on tomorrow. So yeah, there may not
You
be
will
any
be
stores
forced to play
open.
board games with your family.
You might be forced to play board games with your family. I'm not sure how that's going to work. Anyways, thank you again for joining us. Let us know in the comments what you would like our next special podcast episode to be about, and we will take that into consideration when we are able to plan it. As always, I'm David.
I'm Sachie.
And I'm B.
And
Bye-bye.
we are the lead people of Otaku. Thank you for joining us. Happy Valentine's Day.
Bye.
Bye.